Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Roster United with another episode.
Thor's Raven Kickstarter update.
I love it. In today's Thor's Raven, we're going to give you, another update on the Kickstarter. Let us begin here. Let's see how much money the campaign has made from the last update that we had. Rick, can you help us out with that?
Yeah, we're now at 9,533 backers and at $794,435 as of 3:01 Eastern Time today. We're doing a little early Raven.
Early Ravens, yes. Not bad, really. It's progressed quite a few. There's no big,
I found this on the web.
There you go, Siri.
Siri found that on the web for us.
I guess she did. There's no big expansion reveals yet, but we have unlocked some stretch goals. Let's go through those right now. Can you help us out with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So last night when we left it, we were waiting on the Crimson Dynamo to be unlocked. Over the evening hours and throughout the day today, and like you said, Ethan, things have slowed down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, and that happens, right? Kickstarter was excited the first day.
Yeah.
I mean, 10,000 backers the first day.
That's pretty
almost. Good. That's pretty good. So we overlocked over the evening and throughout the day today so far. Crimson Dynamo. Raza was unlocked. He completes that team. I can't remember that. I always draw a blank on the team. That's great. Great for content, isn't it? Starjammers. So Corsair, the first stretch goal, he's the leader of the Starjammers.
Heroes.
Yes. Yeah, they're a hero group. They're a group in Marvel. He's the leader of them, and we've had other characters, and it looks like they're going to play off each other. So if you play a card and the previous card was a Starjammer card, you get more bonuses and stuff. They kind of work together better as a team, kind of like Fantastic Four.
Oh, that's cool.
So anyway, Raza was the last of the Starjammers, so he was unlocked. We also have unlocked M. Have you ever seen the House of M comics? Very famous. She's a mutant. Has two different forms that she'll have.
That's right.
And currently we're waiting at about a little over $10,000 to go for Crossbones. So Crossbones is the next Kickstarter to stretch goal to be brought up.
That is pretty cool. First off, you can start. What are you most excited about with these? Obviously, there hasn't been a whole lot of stretch goals yet that have been unlocked today. But with those that have been unlocked or that is going, what is your favorite thing you've seen?
Yeah, so far for me, I mean, we're starting to get into the weeds on some of these characters for sure. So far of what's been unlocked, I think to me, I'm kind of excited about Crimson Dynamo.
There you go.
I'm kind of excited about him. He's got an interesting kind of play with his BAMs and his different cards that he's got. You're going to have to use different heroic actions, kind of a different mix. And he's got a mission that fills up. And if it fills up all the way, you lose. Yeah. If you clear it, it flips over and takes over the rules and becomes new rules for the rest of the match.
That is pretty cool.
So it's kind of neat. I thought that was a cool take on a villain character.
That's amazing.
How about you, Ethan? What are you looking forward to?
Well, honestly, I like this character M. A lot of people went crazy when she was revealed. She's a hero. And when you click on her, you go down to her little description here. She has these two cards. And basically at the end of the villain turn, she can flip over, which form she wants to be. And depending on the form, right, there's the M form, which seems to be the normal kind of form, and then you got the penance form?
Penance
form, excuse me.
Penance, I think you're right. Penance, yeah.
Okay. All right, and you got that form, and basically depending on the form, depends on the abilities that you can use on your cards. So that'll be very interesting. A lot of strategy, really. I mean, you got to plan it's like a chess match, right? You got to plan your steps ahead. You got to predict what things are going to be like and things like that. She'll be very interesting to try out and to review, obviously.
I think
Did
you're
she-
right too.
yeah.
She had the most when
Yeah.
she was revealed as the stretch goal. Her stretch goal had the most likes
Yes.
so far. So you're right about people being excited about that for sure.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
did do a brief update today.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of a general update on the
right.
Wrecking Crew,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes through in detail how they're going to play out. They kind of have one board with all their BAMs and everything on it. So they start off playing together. And again, that's the Wrecking Crew has Wrecker, Thunderball, Pile Driver, and Bulldozer. And I think it'd be good to go through those when we have a chance to kind of do that. But I know that's probably not part of this update today. They did also announce that tomorrow they are going to, it's a Friday, so they are going to do a little bit of a live stream to go over the week so far. And that's going to be tomorrow, January 20th at noon Eastern time. So that's when the live stream will happen.
That is awesome. I can't wait because, they can obviously announce something new. Maybe an expansion or so, something like that.
It seems like we're ripe for an expansion. They always wait till the money kind of stalls and the backers stall, and then they rip out an expansion, right?
Yes.
And put it out there. So
I truly can't wait for that tomorrow at noon. I can't wait for that, really. And back to the Wrecking Crew as well, just really quickly, it's just kind of plays out like kind of the Sinister Six, where the BAM effects will happen to two of the villains. But obviously since, when there's 6 villains, right, they're not as... Each one is powerful if it's with the rest, with the other 6.
more powerful that are together.
Exactly. But now, you got 4, right? So now you're cutting off 2 guys. Now you can focus a little bit more on each of the guy. And it's pretty cool. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit more later on how you play it and things like that. But just, that's pretty cool. I do like, playing the Sinister Six together in one game. And I think the Wrecking Crew is just another example of that.
Yeah, I think it's just cool to be able to play against, groups and the strategies involved with that. Again, it's kind of early in the day when you get a chance to really go through it. But, they have a loot track that they're trying to fill, so they're running around collecting loot. Like you said, their BAM cards only activate 2 of them at a time, or their Master Plan cards activate 2 of them at a time. They're moving the 2, triggering the BAMs, trying to create overflows. They're trying to do all of that to get that loot track up there. So it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be pretty cool to go through that. And again, I agree with you. I think tomorrow there will be some kind of an announcement about the first expansions we expect to see.
That is awesome. And, I can't wait. I really don't know what to expect. I just expect something to be good. That's really all.
It'll be good.
Yeah, and, I've actually had recently the chance to talk to the actual designer. And I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name right. I'm super, super sorry. It's Andrea Chivercio? Chivercio? Is that how you say it? Chiarvicio? Is that how you say it? I can't pronounce it. Right?
Charvesio.
Charvesio.
Charvesio, so he's Italian.
Yeah. Andrea.
Chiarvesio.
Chiarvicio.
Yeah, you hit him up last night on Board Game Geek,
I did.
right?
I obviously, I don't know how, because now when you click on his icon, you can't message him directly. He has another
Maybe
account.
you're the reason why.
I probably am. No, I've only messaged him once, just talking about, the X-Men. Then I messaged him again, and I asked him a couple of questions. And I think, because I told him if I could, he said it's fine.
He asked you if he could.
Huh. No, he
asked you, though, if he could. You asked him 2 questions. What were your questions?
Well, I asked him a couple of questions, actually.
Yeah.
One of the questions was, what was your favorite thing added to Season 3? Which is your favorite equipment in the base game, equipment cards? And which is the best villain to play in the base game? Simple questions.
Yeah, stuff that he doesn't have to reveal anything.
So here's what he said. Now, this was interesting. Because here's what he said, right? Hello, Ethan. I'm glad, I'm happy you're enjoying the Season 3. Now watch this. Look what he says. He says, my favorite thing has not been announced yet. So I can't answer that question. Equipments are definitely in my top 3 additions of this season, however. Now, he could have said Equipments and Galactus, but he didn't.
He said something hasn't been announced yet. So
So,
but what was cool
that's pretty
is, and
cool.
the reason we're talking about this, because we want to respect his answers
Obviously,
back to you.
yes.
But he asked you something back about your questions.
Oh, yeah. Well, basically, I asked him these questions, and I'll read the rest of them soon. And basically, he asked me to post these questions. He wanted to see if I can give him permission
He wanted to post
he
was asking for
yeah.
permission to use your name
to
and
use
post
my
your
name
questions.
and my questions in his Facebook or he
his
said in
social
Facebook
media.
or in other social media platforms.
So he wants to answer your questions to the broader
to the
fan
everybody,
base,
which is awesome.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say that's pretty cool.
That he did that.
Yeah. So, if you want to know and have a quick sneak peek before he releases them, here's his answers. So, we obviously know that something that has not been announced yet, he's very excited. There's probably 2 things that are new that he hasn't announced, right? Because he didn't say Galactus. He just said equipment cards.
He said equipment is his top 3 things added to the game was equipment.
But he didn't say Galactus. He said something else. They haven't been announced yet. So that's pretty cool.
So that's kind of neat.
Then he said equipment's in corset. And then this is what he says, quote, I am proud of how we solved the Mjolnir design. Thor and Mighty Thor are among the heroes with the most overall icons in the game, which is true. So adding an equipment to them would easily have put them off track. Not giving them any additional icon, but the handy power to recall Mjolnir to their hand was not only thematically on spot, but not balanced breaking. So
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
So that was a challenge. They're already powerful characters because they didn't originally design the game.
And because again
with equipment,
yeah.
So you give them more power, they're even more powerful.
Yeah.
But now they found a way to you gotta have,
which is pretty cool.
You gotta have,
you gotta have it.
You
gotta have it. And what's interesting though is because I like, what's interesting though is that I like Better Ray Bill better. So if I think Better Ray Bill is better than Thor, and they're both the same number counts.
If you read it though, Stormbreaker is an equipment card.
Really?
There's a Stormbreaker equipment card, and we know who uses Stormbreaker. Yeah. Beta Ray Bill.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
so
kind of cool. But that was neat that he answered that.
That's pretty cool.
Did he say what villain
Yes, there's actually a bit more here. He says the most fun, meaning on the equipment cards, is Loki's scepter. Since it gives you an interesting choice. He doesn't say the choice.
That's pretty cool.
But he says it gives you an interesting choice. He said, because I also said that I loved how the equipment, you're bringing in the equipment for the original characters and how you're moving the game forward. That's amazing. I said that's brilliant. He said the most on spot is, the most on spot is Captain Carter and the America Shield.
Yeah, that's
Since
cool.
That's something I was really missing since Season 1. And he said the most powerful equipment card is the Hellfire chain from Ghost Rider. Which if you zoom into one of the pictures, you can see its description, which basically he attacks from long range or something like that.
Cool.
Pretty cool. Very interesting. So, what about the villains in the core box? He didn't just tell me his favorite. He told me every single one. He told me every single villain, including the anti-hero villain, and his descriptions on him. So let's take a look here.
What an awesome response.
It's amazing. He said, Ghost Rider is the best if you're learning the game or teaching the game to someone. Maestro is the most straightforward one. Maestro is the most straightforward one. Still, he is quite a challenge. Maestro. Emperor Doom is the one I had most fun designing, and his gameplay is really unique. It's not as challenging as you might expect, but if you have read that story, you should know why.
Oh, it's such an awesome story.
That is amazing.
Yes, that is Secret Wars, I believe.
Yes, I think so.
About Secret Wars.
And then the last villain, Immortus, has a creative gameplay, and he's quite challenging. So overall, it's probably the best, quote-unquote, best villain in that core box.
He put best in quotes.
Best in quotes.
That's cool. That's neat.
So
he took
that's
the
his
time
response.
to give you all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, what a cool.
And then he didn't just give me one response, he gave me two. Because about an hour later, exactly an hour later, he sent me another message saying, "Dear Ethan, since you raised some interesting questions, these questions that he just answered, would you mind if I share these questions and my answers on Facebook or somewhere else?" Then he said this, "In that case, do you want me to redact?" He put those in, what are those called?
Yep, redact, parentheses.
No, not parentheses. It's the
Quotations?
weird... No, it's the... Oh, is it parentheses?
It's
parentheses. Sorry about that. Do you want me to, in parentheses, redact your name, or should I leave it? And I'm like, heck yeah, just you can do it. I don't care. That's fine with me. So, yeah, so that's pretty cool, though. Yeah, he took the time to answer those questions, and, it's just fantastic.
That is awesome.
Truly,
every time he took time to write that back to you, though.
Every time I've messaged him, I've only messaged him once, but every time it's like a nice written letter,
and you won't be able to message him again.
And probably won't.
Shut it off.
I probably
he
will,
obviously appreciated it to take that much time to respond to you.
Yeah, and oh yeah, keep going.
I was gonna say he obviously took one that a fan is showing interest in the game.
Yeah,
and he wanted to take time to answer back. I mean,
yeah,
he's got a lot going on with all this stuff going on. To take time to write you that long of a message, that earns points in my book. So
it does, because
we're definitely going all in on it.
Now. Oh, we are.
We've got to. Yeah.
It's
that's
just
pretty cool.
It's just amazing, right? Because usually some people are like, "Oh, thank you for the game," and then that's it.
Right.
Right. Maybe they answer one question, but he
answered
everything.
Yes.
And he said everything of the core box villains. And then he said, if I can put these questions, your questions, and your name in the social media
because he's not only answering it for you, but he's answering
for everybody else. So I'm glad he took the time to do it.
Did you respond back and tell him yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I'm like, yes, of course. Thank you very much. And, I hope everything goes well with the campaign. I backed it and stuff like that. So hopefully everything goes well. Thank you, very much to him as well for taking that time. Very nice, I must say. That's very nice.
Very nice.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's been happening so far in the campaign. Tomorrow we'll have for you another update in the afternoon, talking about, obviously, some more stretch goals, and obviously as well with the live stream and hopefully some big announcement that will be coming tomorrow at noon. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of Thor's Raven, and we hope you have a fantastic day.